Now, Pam has been in the medical aesthetics business for many years. Recently introduced me to an incredible new brand, which we've just brought into the clinic. Now, I've been looking for something to complement what we already do and really bring our treatments to that next level, especially after lockdown, when I've noticed that there's been so much acne and pigmentation, and I just felt that what we had in clinic, it wasn't really good enough. So it seemed a natural progression to me to go along with Pam, who is the distributor for this incredible product house, pHformula.
So I've been involved in aesthetics for, quite a long time, and have always kind of had an interest in skin.
Yeah.
And chemical peels weren't something that, yes, were around, but they weren't for me kind of what I really liked. I just didn't quite like that concept about damaging skin to get it to repair itself. I mean, yes, they do get results, but for me, it was all of that downtime and the recovery and the risk of potential for complications and side effects. And, for me, particularly being a nurse, I want to do quality treatment that gives me the minimum amount of problems, not only for my patients, but certainly for myself, if we're going to be fair about this. I was very fortunate to be invited out to Barcelona about, must be 13, 14 years ago, to support this absolutely amazing chemist in Barcelona called Fernando Buffard. He does a range of medical grade chemical peels and mesotherapy products. And of course, I have a huge interest in skin, and mesotherapy I absolutely adore. I love mesotherapy. I think it's a fantastic addition in terms of integrating it into skin from a skin health perspective. And so I was invited out there to support his training. So he would do all the science and behind the brands that he was, the line that he was teaching. And I would do the practical sessions with regard to chemical peeling and the mesotherapy for the delegates that had come to his education academy in Barcelona. And it was the late 2000 to almost 2010. He'd started talking to me about pHformula. And, oh, Pam, I want you to look at this brand. It's about chemical peels. And I was like, yeah, okay, and kind of batted him off the whole time because it wasn't what I wanted to do. I'm much more focused on skin health and actually respecting the skin as an organ. I think it's one organ of our body that we abuse the most, give it very little love and attention, and expect it to function very well. And then are actually surprised when we wake up one morning going, oh my God, what's happened? So, he kept, and as I said, it was 2 years, he kept on every time I went to Barcelona, and I was out there 3 or 4 times a year. And he is the most amazing chemist. I don't get to meet a lot of chemists, to be fair, but this man is an absolute genius. Anyway, one day I was there. He's terribly crafty. He invited me to the Anti-Aging Congress in Monte Carlo as his guest. So it takes you a nanosecond to check your diary to see if you're free. So I went, oh, okay. Why not? Thank you very much. So I went over there. It's the first time I'd been to Monte Carlo, first time I'd been to this incredibly amazing conference. It's on 3 floors, there's 9,000 delegates, and it is the European representation of, aesthetics and skin. And it was after the first day when I'd been wandering around like a kid in a sweet shop. And he said, right, sit down. I want to talk to you about pHformula wine. Okay. So I sat down. And he said to me, he says, Pam, he said, society is too busy to peel. So I went, you're right. And I know myself from my clinical experience, trying to, engage women into that concept of chemical peeling and then going through that journey over a period of, weeks and even months wasn't something that they were really interested in. They want the results. They don't want the problems. I don't know about you, Jane, but my God, my life is too busy to peel. But what is unique for pHformula is the combination of the acids. It's not a single acid, it is a combination of acids whereby we combine all of those that will give us those benefits. Because skin will never come with just one problem. It'll always be more than one. It's going to be aging and pigmentation, aging and acne, pigmentation and acne, chronic redness acne, chronic redness aging, so there's always going to be more than one issue going on with skin. So he said it stands to reason that if you combine the acids targeting multiple problems in the skin, you're going to get a better result. Well, of course, that for me has made common sense. I mean, amazing. He said, but what is so different and unique about pHformula is I've created a very unique delivery system, a complex, whereby I can actually pull those acid molecules into the living skin cells so quickly, it doesn't damage that top layer. So I was like, whoa, this is amazing. I said, so tell me all about it. I said, I want to know the ingredients. I want you to talk to me like an idiot so I understand. And he put his arm around me and he said, darling, if I tell you everything, I have to kill you. So I said, okay, tell me what I need to know. And the way he explained it to me and his concept in terms of its simplicity was just like, you know, that sort of, you know, light bulb moment. My God, this is absolutely incredible. And all he's done is really look at carriers that we know will travel through skin very quickly, which is namely oxygen and water. The acid molecules in nature, as complexes, they're always got a positive energy force field around it. Water and oxygen have half that is positive and half that is negative. Changing the polarity from the oxygen and the water to completely negative. So when you've got positive molecules and negative molecules, they attract. So what those carriers are doing is literally grasping every single molecule, pulling it into the living skin. And that for me was like, my God, this is completely different in our approach. And it just completely blew me away. I thought, this is amazing stuff. And he said to me, he said, you know, one of the things, Pam, we need to focus on now, we're in the 21st century. We need to move away from the dark ages. It's about skin health. It's about respecting the skin, maintaining the integrity of that barrier. It's there for a reason. Reducing the problems. Because if we don't damage that top layer, we don't have inflammation, which, as you know, inflammation can be terribly bad in certain skin types, will create pigmentation issues. It opens it up to the potential for bacterial invasion, which is a potential for some infection, depending on a skin type, you know, open wounds, scars, and all of that sort of stuff. And I just thought, I can't believe this is a product that actually means I'm not going to have any problems. What's not to love? The experience in terms of the sensation for me, Jane, was very different to what I'd ever experienced as chemical peels before. You know, and I've used some of Fernando's medical grade chemical peels, and the sensation is very different. That's like, oh my God, get it off, it's too hot. You know, peel 3 times. So the sensation was very, very different. But because of what I felt and knowing how my skin reacts, I really expected my skin to be scarlet. Finished the treatment, got a mirror, nothing. Nothing, absolutely nothing. No redness, no erythema, absolutely nothing. And I was just like, oh my God. So I can go out now into Barcelona with my partner, him and his wife. And for the first time in a long time, Jane, I actually we all went out to dinner that night. I didn't wear any makeup.
Wow.
Which for me is unheard of. I just didn't wear any makeup because actually my skin was almost not glowing in terms of a red, but almost like it was backlist. It was vibrant. It was radiant. And it felt incredible. I could feel almost like that energy in my skin, which of course was molecules. And that for me just, boom, sold it to me. I just thought, this has got to be something that we need to bring here. You know, our lives are too busy. You know, this for me would be a real game changer for any clinic or specialist who's absolutely passionate about skin. The other thing that I really, really liked about it, because we're not creating the damage, the trauma, there's no peeling, no downtime, is that actually we can do these treatments throughout the year. We're not limited to just doing them in the winter months.
No, that really appealed. That really appealed when you said that. That is amazing.
You know, without the risk of, you know, problems because of sun exposure. I mean, obviously sun protection is mandatory, but then it should be, you know, even if you're not. Absolutely. And it was just, you know, for me, it was just, my goodness, this is just the most incredible brand. The other thing that really appealed to me about the brand when I sort of, you know, looked into it in a lot more detail is the versatility of your in-clinic treatments. That you're not pigeonholed
No.
into a set protocol.
Mm.
You know, it gives you the freedom as those skin specialists to look at that skin of what it's like on that day and actually make a judgment based on what the skin is doing and what's been happening prior as to which pathway you want to go down.
Yeah.
And that for me is really exciting because it allows you to use your clinical skills, your experience and your expertise without being hamstrung to box the skin into set compartments, which again is what I love.
Yeah, like you said, we can really make a bespoke treatment, and we can marry it together with having some Soluma first, having some needling, having some, you know, and a 30-minute treatment, a 60-minute treatment, a 90-minute treatment. There's so many things, and like you said, I mean, I had a lady in on Saturday, I mean, chronic redness, and to do the resurfacing on her. I mean, we just did a half-hour treatment on her. I mean, her skin was amazing afterwards. And like you said, it is so foreign to think that you know, the product is going from the inside out. That's how it's working. And obviously, with some of the peels, you don't even resurfacing products. You don't even take them off, and some you do. And it is like in the training, she said, you know, imagine everything you know about peels. And the resurfacing with the pH formula is the opposite. And it is, and it's, you know, I've been treating a guy with acne as well. We've got somebody on a case study for the chronic redness, acne, and for pigmentation. And, you know, even after 1 week of the home kit for the pigment, she is chuffed to bits. But the young guy that I'm treating for the acne, I mean, he's had one half-hour treatment. You know, he's going to be going on the home care. He came in today and I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. And the chronic redness as well. It's like, you're not red when you come out. And that's what I found so incredible. You know, the SOS mask, which I absolutely adore, you're taking it off and you're like, there's no redness. There's no redness. That's great.
That's the power of pHformula.
Yeah.
And I think that's the great thing, is that actually one of the things that I do find with this brand is that actually you're getting visible results in such short space of time.
Yeah.
Which for me, from a patient's perspective, from your client's perspective, we're terribly impatient. We want,
oh my God, so impatient. And especially when it comes to acne, for one.
Yeah.
And pigment, you know, we want it gone and that's it. But it's like you said, it doesn't happen overnight. It is a process, and it is obviously what you're using at home as well. And what Absolutely. I love, like when I very first spoke to you, I said to you about that pregnant lady. And like you said, she can have the home care kit, you know, and I'm talking to her at the moment. And obviously I was, you know, because of lockdown, we wanted to be able to offer some people treatments, at home treatments that they can do themselves. And that is why I love the whole process. It's not only in clinic, but it's also they can use at home, and it gets results. You know, that's been my biggest problem with the acne and with the pigment, is getting those better results. And like you said, marrying it together with all the other treatments, and especially the fact that you are training us in 2 of our other brands as well. It's nice we can take bits from all of them. And
that will always, as you know, as a skin specialist, you know, combination treatments are going to give you even better results.
Yeah.
You know, we'll get the results with our pHformula without a shadow of a doubt. But I think that ability to be able to say do microneedling and the pHformula on the same treatment day is fabulous. You know,
that was amazing. Amazing.
You know, the Soluma, the light therapy, you know, for me, everybody should be under light. It's just amazing, you know.
Yeah.
In terms of, you know, that cellular regeneration, that turnover, what you're doing is you're almost turbo boosting the positive benefits that you're getting from the acids and the ingredients with, you know, a little bit of turbocharge with Soluma. You know, even a bit of electrolysis and IPL, you know, you can combine them. I mean, I think the only thing that I would say to skin specialists that you would never combine on the same treatment day would be laser.
Yeah.
Because you've got the heat from the laser, and then you've got the proton power from the acids. Would be too stimulating for skin. The skin will react. It'll be like, whoa, back off. I've had enough. And it works very well, as we well know. So I'm delighted to have you as one of our pHformula family members. Can't wait.
As I said, we're blown away. We're absolutely blown away. We are loving it, especially when you've been doing, you know, I've been doing this for a very long time.
So it's so exciting when you get new products that work, because that we're only about things that work. There's no point, you know, when people say to me, oh, does it work? They haven't said that about pH, but they do. You're like, well, I wouldn't have it if it didn't work. There would be no point.